Attention shoppers! Get ready because starting in 2025, your grocery bill might just shock you. According to the USDA, food prices are set to climb even higher, with an estimated 1.6% increase in what you'll spend on groceries at home.
Some essentials like eggs could skyrocket by a jaw-dropping 10.5%. But that's not all. Several everyday grocery products are about to become incredibly expensive, and if you don't prepare now, you'll definitely feel the pinch at checkout.
We've uncovered 15 grocery items that are poised to see massive price hikes by March. And trust us, you'll want to know what's on this list before it's too late.
Whether it's your breakfast staples or those must-have pantry items, these price increases could change the way you shop.
Stick around as we break down the foods you love that could soon break your budget. Don't miss out. This is your warning to stock up and stay ahead of the rising costs. 15. Beef, a price hike like never before. Attention meat lovers, your favorite steaks and burgers are about to come with a premium price tag. By March 2025, beef prices will skyrocket, and no, we're not talking about a few cents here and there. A perfect storm is brewing. Tariffs, rising feed costs, and devastating droughts are set to drive beef costs through the roof. Here's what you need to know. First, the U.S. relies on Mexico and Canada for over 15% of its beef supply. With new tariffs being slapped on imports from these countries, retailers will have no choice but to hike prices. But that's not all. Domestically, U.S. ranchers are facing their own uphill battle. Feed costs are spiraling out of control due to inflation and poor harvests, while severe droughts in major cattle states like Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska have turned grazing lands into dry, unusable patches. This means smaller herds, less beef on the market, and jaw-dropping prices at the checkout. If you're someone who enjoys tossing ribeyes on the grill or adding ground beef to family meals, brace yourself. Experts are already forecasting double-digit price surges on all cuts of beef, yes, even budget-friendly options like hamburger patties and chuck roasts. Planning to skip the grocery store and eat out instead? Think again. Restaurants, fast food chains, and steakhouses will pass these increased costs right onto your plate. That $6 burger combo you're used to? Get ready to pay $8 or more. For many Americans, beef is more than just food. It's part of our culture. But come 2025, you'll have a tough decision to make. Pay up or find alternatives.
And don't hold out hope for a quick fix.
These price jumps aren't temporary. They're here to stay. 14, tequila lovers, brace yourselves. Tequila drinkers, we've got some bad news. Your go-to party starter and stress reliever is about to transform into a luxury item. By March, stocking your home bar with tequila might feel like buying fine jewelry. Why? 2 words, rising costs. First off, tequila owes its existence to the blue agave plant, grown almost exclusively in Mexico. And here's the kicker. Proposed 25% tariffs on Mexican imports are likely to hit hard.
That means every bottle crossing the border is going to get slapped with a hefty price tag.
Today's $40 bottle might cost you $70 by the time tariffs take effect. And as for your top-shelf favorites like Don Julio 1942, well, you better start saving now. But wait, that's not all.
On top of the looming tariffs, tequila has a supply issue that's been brewing for years. The blue agave plant takes at least 7 years to mature, and demand is skyrocketing worldwide.
Unsurprisingly, the U.S., as the largest tequila consumer on the planet, is leading the charge. Farmers in Jalisco, Mexico, are hustling to keep up, but droughts, agave shortages, and production challenges are only adding fuel to the fire.
Thinking you can dodge this crisis by switching to mezcal?
Think again. Mezcal is also made from agave and faces similar challenges.
Even your beloved margaritas at the local bar won't be safe. Expect those $10 cocktails to jump to $15 or more.
If tequila is your drink, here's your warning to stock up now. Your margarita nights could soon become a luxury event, turning tequila into a status symbol for the elite. Cheers to one last affordable drink while it lasts. 13. Brace yourself, chocolate lovers. All right, listen up, because this one's gonna hit you where it really hurts. Your love for chocolate. If you thought those sweet, delicious bars of goodness just magically show up in stores, think again. The cost of cocoa has gone through the roof, and it's a serious problem. Why? Because over 70% of the world's cocoa comes from West Africa, which is now battling the triple threat of climate change, unpredictable weather, and destructive crop diseases. Picture this. Unrelenting rains, followed by brutal droughts, are demolishing cocoa harvests. Farmers are struggling just to survive, let alone produce enough cocoa to keep the world powered by chocolate. But the weather's just one piece of the problem. The cocoa industry is tangled in a web of economic and political turmoil. Labor shortages, poor infrastructure, and expensive logistics are making it harder than ever to get cocoa to market. And who's going to feel the squeeze?
You!
Me, all of us. That $2 chocolate bar we grab at checkout? By early next year, it could easily be fired or worse. And here's the kicker. Some companies are quietly shrinking their products. Smaller chocolate bars at the same price. While others are openly increasing prices, slapping on phrases like premium quality to justify the hike. But here's the cold, hard reality. Chocolate is quickly evolving from an everyday indulgence into a luxury treat.
Cocoa shortages are not a short-term problem.
Without major intervention or awareness from chocolate lovers like us, that classic Hershey's bar might just become a rare splurge instead of a sweet staple.
12. Rice.
Rice might seem like the one pantry item that's always affordable and easy to find. Think again.
The reality is shifting fast, and it could hit U.S. grocery shoppers harder than you expect. Here's why rice might soon be a luxury item on your shopping list. The global rice supply is shrinking, and one of the key players is India, the world's largest rice exporter, responsible for over 40% of global production.
Earlier this year, India put an export ban on non-basmati rice, keeping it for their own population amidst soaring inflation and unpredictable weather patterns. That's a big red flag for the rest of us. When a giant like India starts hoarding, everyone feels the ripple effects. Here in the U.S., we've been leaning heavily on imports, sourcing rice from countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and even Africa. But there's a catch. Climate issues like droughts and floods are hammering crop yields worldwide.
These exporting nations are likely to prioritize their own populations before shipping anything abroad.
Sound familiar? When domestic needs take over, global prices skyrocket. And here's the part you can't ignore. U.S. rice imports have surged by more than 40% in the past decade. A clear sign of how much we depend on international supply.
Experts now warn that by early 2025, the price of rice could double or even triple.
Imagine walking into a grocery store and seeing a $10 price tag for a single bag of rice. Makes that $2 bag you've been taking for granted feel like a steal, doesn't it? Rice isn't just a side dish or an ingredient, it's a survival staple. It's shelf-stable, versatile, and a go-to for tough times. If there's one pantry item worth stocking up on right now, this is it. Don't wait until the shelves are bare or prices are through the roof. Take action today and thank yourself later.
11. Dairy products.
Milk, cheese, yogurt, butter, these are kitchen essentials we've relied on for decades. But fast forward to March 2025, and these staples could feel more like luxuries. Why? Because everything keeping dairy affordable is slowly unraveling and most people aren't even noticing. First, let's talk about the skyrocketing cost of feed for cows. Grain and hay prices have surged, with droughts, floods, and unpredictable weather wreaking havoc on crops. Farmers are struggling to feed their herds, and higher feed costs mean one thing. It's more expensive to produce milk, cheese, and other dairy favorites. Then there's the energy crisis. Producing dairy isn't just about cows. It takes power, lots of it. From milking and processing to keeping products refrigerated, energy is essential, and those costs are climbing as well. Energy inflation? Not helping your wallet. But it doesn't stop there. Small family-run dairy farms are vanishing. Corporate consolidation has been squeezing these farms for decades. And now, with rising costs and no support, many are shutting down. Once those small farms disappear, the big corporations left standing can name their price. No competition? Bad news for your grocery budget. And before you think, I'll just switch to non-dairy alternatives, think again. The plant-based milk industry isn't immune to these challenges.
Almonds are suffering due to severe droughts, oat yields are in decline, and soy producers are grappling with skyrocketing production costs.
What does this mean for you? Prices across the board could soar, turning basic dairy products into premium-priced luxuries. Milk at $8 a gallon? A block of cheddar at $15? It's a very real possibility. Here's the survival tip. Stock up now. Freeze butter, buy extra cheese while it's still affordable, and look into powdered or shelf-stable milk options. Being prepared today could save you major frustration tomorrow. Don't wait until the price hikes hit hard. It's time to plan ahead.
You've been warned!
10. Oats, the unexpected breakfast goldmine. Hey, oat lovers! Let's talk about those humble little grains hiding in your pantry. You know, the ones you use for overnight oats, oatmeal cookies, and yes, that precious oat milk in your morning lattes. Well, here's a wake-up call. Oats are rapidly becoming a hot commodity, and their price might shoot up faster than you think. Here's the deal. Farmers across North America are planting fewer oats because, honestly, they're not as profitable as other crops like soybeans or corn. Can you really blame them for following the money? On top of that, Canada, our biggest supplier of oats, is struggling with wild weather swings, from scorching droughts to devastating wildfires. These climate disasters are slashing oat harvests, which means fewer oats for everyone. Bad news for your cozy breakfast plans. And it doesn't stop there. Oat milk, the trendy plant-based dairy alternative we're all obsessed with, has turned up the heat on demand. With more people ditching cow's milk, oat milk sales are skyrocketing, leaving less raw oats available for grocery store shelves. Your $8 oat milk latte from your favorite hipster cafe isn't just hurting your wallet, it's also contributing to global oat shortages.
Now add inflation to the mix. Families looking for affordable, filling meals are turning to oats because they're cheap, healthy, and versatile.
Whether you bake with them, eat them as cereal, or use them in soups, oats are a pantry essential.
When demand spikes like this, shelves clear out quicker than you can say granola. Here's the bottom line. Don't sleep on oats.
Stock up now because by March a humble 10-pound bag of oats might feel like a treasure chest. Trust us, you'll thank your forward-thinking self when prices climb, and everyone's scrambling for their morning oatmeal fix.
9. If you got a sweet tooth, get ready for a bitter reality.
Sugar is quickly becoming a luxury item, and the sweet treats you love, cookies, candies, chocolate bars, and ice cream, are about to become harder on your wallet. Why? The sugar market is under massive pressure, and the price spike is going to hit your grocery bill like never before. Global supply issues are at an all-time high. With rising fuel costs and inflation on production essentials like fertilizers, it's costing farmers more than ever to grow and harvest sugar. Add in unpredictable weather conditions, droughts, floods, and extreme temperature shifts, and the world's biggest sugar producers, Brazil and India, are struggling to keep up. India has even taken drastic measures, restricting sugar exports to ensure they have enough for their own population. That means less sugar for the rest of the world. But the pain doesn't stop there. U.S. manufacturers of sweet products are feeling the burn too. Labor shortages, higher transportation costs, and increased tariffs are driving up expenses for companies like Hershey and Nestle.
To cope, they're either cutting back on production or passing these rising costs straight to you, the consumer.
And trust me, you're going to notice it when your favorite snacks are either way pricier or missing from the shelves entirely. By spring 2025, that $1 candy bar you casually toss in your cart could cost $2, even $3. Those donuts you love to grab for the office? They might feel like splurging on a fancy meal. And Halloween candy? Start budgeting for it like you're planning a wedding. The days of affordable sugary indulgence are fading fast, so enjoy your sweets while you can, because soon they might just be priceless. Number 8, avocados. Who doesn't love a good avocado toast?
It's the symbol of health, trendy lifestyles, and deliciousness.
But here's the bad news. Your favorite creamy green fruit is about to become shockingly expensive. Why? Avocados rely heavily on imports, with over 80% coming from Mexico, especially during the winter when U.S. farms can't meet demand.
Now, with looming 25% tariffs on Mexican imports, the cost of avocados could skyrocket by March.
We're not talking about a small price increase. You could soon be paying double or even triple for this once affordable superfood.
You might think, well, I'll just stop buying them. Easier said than done.
Avocados have become a staple for millions of American families, fitness enthusiasts, and foodies alike. Packed with heart-healthy fats, potassium, and fiber, they've cemented their place in everything from salads to smoothies. But here's the kicker. The demand is rising faster than the supply chain can manage.
Add to that inflation, droughts in Mexico, and severe crop damage, and you have a recipe for an avocado shortage like never before.
What does this mean for businesses? Trouble, plain and simple.
Restaurants specializing in guacamole or avocado-centric dishes are already feeling the pinch. They'll either hike up prices or shrink portion sizes.
Remember when guac was already extra? Get ready to pay even more, probably $4 for half a spoonful.
And for those thinking California avocados will save the day, don't hold your breath.
Domestic farms can't produce enough to meet the exploding demand, and their farming costs, like irrigation, are sky high. This means no matter where they're grown, avocados are poised to become a luxury item. Enjoy those avocados while they're still within reach, because by March they might just break the bank. Would you pay designer prices for a piece of toast? Start budgeting now, or prepare to say goodbye to your favorite superfood. 7. Pork prices are about to skyrocket. Pork lovers, brace yourselves, because your favorite breakfast bacon might soon feel like a luxury item.
By March 2025, pork prices are predicted to climb higher than ever before, and the reasons are stacking up like a mile-high sandwich.
Whether it's sizzling bacon, juicy pork chops, or a holiday ham, all of it is going to impact your wallet in a big way. First off, let's talk tariffs. A large portion of the pork consumed in the U.S. is imported from Canada and Mexico, two of our biggest trade partners.
But proposed tariff increases mean those imports will cost more, and guess who will be footing the bill?
That's right, us, the consumers. Unfortunately, relying on American farms isn't going to save the day either.
U.S. pork producers are already grappling with skyrocketing feed costs.
Thanks to inflation, supply chain issues, and extreme weather like droughts, the price of corn and soy, key ingredients in pig feed, has gone through the roof. American farmers are doing their best, but they can't just magically ramp up production overnight when they're already stretched thin. Then there's the looming threat of African swine fever, a virus that has wreaked havoc on pig populations in countries worldwide. While the U.S. hasn't faced a major outbreak yet, keeping farms disease-free comes at a hefty cost for producers, costs that are inevitably passed down to, you guessed it, the consumer. And that's not all. The pork supply chain is also being hit with rising labor costs. Every step of the process, from farm to packaging plant, is suffering from worker shortages and increasing wages, making production more expensive. What does this mean for you? Well, that $5 pack of bacon you love? You could be looking at $8 or even $10 soon. 6. Strawberries are set to become the fruit of the elite by 2025. Yep, those juicy red berries you've been tossing into your smoothies or sprinkling over cereal? They're about to come with a luxury price tag. If you think a $5 carton is already pricey, brace yourself. The cost could skyrocket to $8, $10, or even more. Here's why. The U.S. relies heavily on Mexico to keep shelves stocked with strawberries during the winter months. Since strawberries don't grow well out of season on American farms, importing them fills the gap. But now, looming 25% tariffs on Mexican produce might throw a wrench in the system. These tariffs could easily drive up prices for consumers. Add in the fact that strawberries are notoriously delicate, spoil quickly, and don't travel well, and the distribution process suddenly becomes even pricier. And here's the kicker. It's not just imports feeling the heat. Even California's strawberry farms, responsible for 90% of U.S. production, are struggling. Droughts, restrictive water policies, and unpredictable weather are crippling yields. When you add rising labor costs and skyrocketing prices for fuel and fertilizer into the mix, it's a recipe for disaster.
Farmers are quite literally battling to stay afloat.
Think waiting for peak strawberry season will save the day? Think again. Even during summer, when production is at its highest, the insatiable demand for strawberries fueled by households, restaurants, bakeries, and smoothie shops keeps prices from falling. The strawberries you're casually buying today might feel like an unattainable luxury next year. By March, a simple carton of strawberries might look more like a shiny treasure sitting on grocery store shelves. If strawberries are a must-have in your daily routine, now's the time to savor them. Because soon they'll be priced like they've been dipped in 24-karat gold. 5. Orange juice, the liquid gold crisis. All right, folks, let's talk about orange juice, the so-called breakfast staple that's about to punch your wallet harder than a Florida hurricane. If you think that $4 carton is pricey now, just wait. By March, we're looking at OJ prices skyrocketing to $8 or more, and that's if you can even find it on the shelves. Here's the deal. Florida, the beating heart of America's orange juice production, is in deep trouble. For years, citrus greening disease, a destructive bacteria nightmare, has been wiping out entire groves. The citrus industry has been battling this silent killer for over a decade, but recently, it's hit critical levels. Translation? Fewer oranges are growing and there's less juice to go around. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Mother Nature decided to throw a 1-2 punch. Hurricanes Ian and Idalia devastated Florida in 2023, ripping up citrus trees, flooding groves, and ruining what was left of the crop. The result? A catastrophic shortage. Growers are left with almost nothing to pick, squeeze, or bottle. Now, you'd think imports from orange juice powerhouses like Brazil could save the day. Spoiler alert, they can't. Global demand for orange juice is surging, and sky-high shipping costs are piling on. Plus, Brazilian juice isn't exactly coming cheap. At the end of the day, the price for your morning OJ is going to reflect all these disasters and costs rolled into one. Here's the harsh reality. Orange juice is quickly becoming a luxury item. If you're still enjoying a glass every morning, you might want to rethink that. Stock up while you can, freeze some for later, or start eyeing alternatives. Because trust me, when March rolls around, orange juice might just be worth its weight in gold. And concentrated OJ? Don't even go there. It's not faring any better. 4. Eggs, the everyday staple on the brink of extinction. Eggs, the unassuming hero of breakfast tables and baking recipes, are teetering on the edge of a price explosion. If you thought last year's $8 per dozen fiasco in some states was bad, brace yourself. Things are about to get a lot worse. The The main villain behind this crisis? Avian influenza, or bird flu.
This isn't just some isolated problem affecting a few farms.
It's an aggressive, relentless virus wreaking havoc on poultry farms across the U.S. and globally. Millions, yes, millions of egg-laying hens have been wiped out in its path. And when bird flu strikes, it's not like farmers can just wait it out. To keep it from spreading further, entire flocks are culled, pushing egg supplies to rock-bottom levels. Now you might say, hey, farms will recover. Not so fast. Rebuilding a viable egg-laying flock doesn't happen overnight. It takes months.
Farmers need time for hens to mature and begin producing eggs again.
Meanwhile, demand for eggs isn't slowing down. After all, everyone needs them, whether for breakfast, baking, or snack prep. This imbalance between supply and demand is why prices are destined to keep soaring. Why does this matter so much? Eggs aren't just another ingredient. They're a nutritional powerhouse. Packed with protein, vitamin B12, choline, and healthy fats, they're one of the most affordable, nutrient-rich foods out there. When times get tough, eggs become even more crucial. They're versatile, long-lasting, and easy to prepare. Scrambled, boiled, baked into recipes, or even stored as powdered eggs. Here's the deal. If you're not already stocking up, start now.
Buy in bulk, freeze them, or try substitutes like powdered eggs.
Because come March, those inexpensive cartons could be nothing more than a fond memory. 3. Coffee prices are brewing trouble. Attention, coffee lovers! Your beloved morning fuel is about to get a whole lot pricier. By March, the cost of coffee could hit your wallet like a venti-sized shock. Why? Because the global coffee industry is in the middle of a full-blown crisis. First, climate change is wreaking havoc on coffee-growing regions. Brazil and Colombia, the two biggest names in the coffee world, are facing weather extremes like never before. One year, droughts dry up the coffee plants, leaving them parched and unproductive.
The next, heavy rains flood the crops, causing beans to rot before they even make it to harvest.
These aren't just minor weather hiccups, they're devastating blows to coffee farmers and ultimately you, the consumer. When Brazil, which supplies about 40% of the world's coffee, takes a hit, the entire market feels the pain. And it's not just the weather. Pests and diseases like coffee leaf rust are spreading faster than farmers can fight them. With crop yields shrinking, coffee beans are becoming rarer, which inevitably means higher prices.
Think switching to cheaper coffee will save you?
Think again. Even Robusta beans, typically used in instant coffee, are facing the same challenges. You might soon find yourself paying top dollar for what used to be a budget-friendly option. Add in rising transport costs, labor shortages, and supply chain bottlenecks, and it's clear that your $5 cappuccino could easily climb to $8 or more. Here's the kicker. The U.S. imports all of its coffee. Yep, every single bean. That means if the global supply chain breaks down further, your morning ritual might become a luxury. Imagine grocery store shelves empty of coffee, a caffeine crisis none of us want to face. 2. Seafood prices are about to skyrocket. Seafood lovers, you might want to grab a chair for this one because your next sushi night or seafood boil could cost you a fortune. By March, seafood prices in the U.S. are set to hit jaw-dropping highs, and here's why this is no fishtail. Over 70% of the seafood consumed in the U.S. is imported, mostly from Asia and South America. But with new tariffs looming over imported goods and supply chain issues still causing waves, the cost of getting that fresh salmon or shrimp to your plate is spiraling out of control. Think your shrimp cocktail is expensive now? Just wait. It could cost you double in a few months. The situation isn't just about imports, though. Overfishing, climate change, and pollution are doing a number on fish stocks globally. Rising ocean temperatures and extreme weather events are making it harder and harder for fish populations to thrive. Fewer fish naturally mean lower catches, and when you add in the higher costs of running fishing boats, thanks to rising fuel prices, it's no surprise that seafood prices are swimming upstream fast. But here's the kicker. Demand for seafood in the U.S. remains as strong as ever. People can't get enough of their sushi, their grilled fish dinners, and those precious omega-3s.
However, luxury prices are on the horizon.
By March, wild-caught salmon could become a status symbol, the kind of treat reserved for special occasions. So what can you do about it? Plan ahead! Start stocking up on frozen seafood, canned tuna, or sardines now before prices soar. Not only will your wallet thank you, but you'll also have the perfect excuse to save some for a rainy day feast. Don't say we didn't warn you! 1. Hey, soda fans and juice lovers, brace yourselves. Your favorite beverages are about to cost a small fortune. You think that $6 for a 12-pack of Coke is already steep? By March 2025, don't be surprised if you're shelling out $10 or more for the same bubbly treat. And no, it's not just inflation. Here's why your refreshing drinks are becoming luxury items. First up, the ingredients. The sweeteners like sugar and high fructose corn syrup, their costs are soaring thanks to tariffs on imported materials. Add citric acid and other essentials to the mix, and you've got a recipe for skyrocketing prices. But wait, there's more. Aluminum cans are getting painfully expensive due to global shortages and trade disputes. Soda companies aren't taking the hit. They're passing those rising costs straight to you. Now think about the energy crisis. Soda manufacturing isn't cheap on electricity. Plants churning out thousands of bottles and cans run on power, and the trucks delivering them burn mountains of diesel. Worse, keeping your drinks chilled at the store isn't free either.
With energy prices shooting up, every step of the production process eats more cash.
Guess who's paying the extra? Yep, it's you, the thirsty consumer. And don't rely on plastic bottles to save the day either. They're caught in the chaos too, as fluctuating oil prices make them pricier to produce. Even as companies try introducing sustainable materials, it's still absurdly expensive. Looking for a healthier option like fruit juice? Bad news. Climate disasters wreaking havoc on Florida orange groves and California's fruit farms are shrinking harvests. With fewer oranges, apples, and other produce, juice prices are climbing fast.
Bottom line, whether it's soda, energy drinks, or juice, everything is going up.
That $2 bottle of your favorite fizzy stuff?
Get ready for $4 or more.
It may feel like overkill now, but give it a few months. You'll see. This is just the beginning.